Alrighty, quick switch to something that's not that. Because, Jesus God, there are times that game makes me fucking infuriated, and that's definitely one of them. Definitely one of them. I'll do a little Battlefield. I've been playing a little bit of it lately. I don't know if I want to play that, the Armored Kill Conquest mode. It's okay, but holy shit, the games drag on for a while in it. Fucking hell. Let's forgo Conquest on Giant Shadow. I haven't played too much of that. I think that's the biggest problem I've got with Battlefield at the moment. I mean, it's not amazing, but it's decent fun. But the games are so long. Just insanely long. They drag on. I think it's just because the ticket count is too high. I think I prefer to play on servers where even that wasn't the case. But even stuff like Rush, it's like, yeah, there's like 8 sets of points. 8? Do you need that many? I don't think it's necessary, really. I never get any of these done. Oh, great. It's foggy as fuck. Cool. Let's go with a tank Hunterland ship. That seems like the way to go. Can't see shit, the video game! Woo! Oh god, that's one of the major issues with this stupid fucking thing. Why? There's so much fucking fog! Like, why? Why this much? Of all things. You don't need this much fog. I can't see anything! Oh. God damn. You know what, actually, I'm actually gonna find a different server. I'm not... That's not even fun. That's just... You can't see. Why? What's the point? Oh. I like Rush, but half of the maps are just terrible for it. They've got points which are basically unbreakable meat grinders. Any of them that have like, hey, we've got an indoor bunker as a point. An indoor bunker where the enemy can spawn. What did you think was gonna happen there exactly? Other than it be nothing but just a giant pit of grenade spam. All squads are full. All right, well I guess we make our own then. There are, yeah, it's got some issues. Let's just put it that way. Let's see, on Rush, we're probably going to take Dynamite instead. Not like a big fan of the gadgets either, really, on this game. There's actually kind of quite, not all that many of them, especially for Assault. I think it's mostly Assault that's lacking them. Other classes are fine. You got a decent amount of selection there, but for Assault, it's like, oh, there's like 3 of them. Like, oh, right. Typical. The one time I decide, hey, I'm going to get rid of my 80 tank rifle, there's actually a fucking tank over there by the looks of it. Oh, I see you. I see you. And do everything I can to be annoying to you. There we go. I could probably even, well, I could have if I hadn't been shot in the back. I was thinking I'll throw some dynamite on top of it. That might have worked, but never mind. Ooh, I can grab a tank now as well then. Alright. Well, if there's a tank, let's take a tank Underland ship out and deal with them that way then. My problem is I'm not going to have too much support unless someone actually spawns in my tank and covers me from the side. Where is that tank? Or did it go up in smoke? Fuck. I don't know if that was a field gun maybe that shot me from there? Oh, either we stole the tank. Yeah, I think we actually stole their tank. Which on a Rush map, I'm very surprised they let us do. So the Tank Hunter landship literally just has an anti-tank rifle stuck in the front of it. That's amusing. And actually not very useful if no one's going to spawn in my landship. Because I can't hit anything. There we go. That's a flamethrower tank, so they're not going to get very far with that. Please tell me that my Tank Hunter landship actually wins this fight straight up, because if it doesn't, that's terrible. How many more hits can you take? Got him! Repair it before someone hits me with something. I guess the Tank Hunter variant doesn't actually have any instant repair. Hi! Go away! Alright, cool, now I've actually got people in it. If you had K bullets, you bloody well don't anymore, because you just exploded. Oh, fuck! Ow! This is bad news. Are we moving again? Okay, we're mobile again. Guy on the side, kill him. Nice. Get the other dude. Ouch. There's a limpet. Who the fuck placed a limpet charge on me and when exactly? Oh, well. We did reasonably well. Killed a bunch with it. Note to self. Tank Hunter takes a surprising amount of time to kill a tank.
The ducal signet ring of the House Atreides. The Baron is pleased and offers you a duke's ransom in spice, if we are successful today.
A sentry kit is available near your
Which we will
location.
be.
Where are you?
The brave Sadukar,
Little ones.
marching down from the polar north on foot, lost and divided by sandstorms.
Because I have a sword. I'm storming the castle. I have my sword. It's metal.
The death hand
You love metal.
is our chance.
Why am I not in the Come on, get...
Arrakis.
That was close. Where is he?
Turn to the combat area.
Lol. LOL! Please tell me that kills him. It actually didn't, which is disappointing. I'm annoying as fuck. Oh, well, I was hoping I'd be able to get him with the sword, but no. Alright. Let's take a light tank. We're gonna go with light howitzer tank, I think. If they're gonna be entrenched like that, let's go blow them up with that instead. So I've got a machine gun and, well, one assumes anyway is a howitzer. Some sort. Yep. Big explodey. What's my other ability? Smoke and repair.
A
Okay.
sentry kit is available near your location.
I don't know where they are, though. Did someone shoot at me? It's 100 meters away. It's a light tank. You can't get in it, mate. Go in the big one.
Kit is available near your location.
This is a decent place to put it. Okay, it wasn't until something hit me in the side. What hit me?
A sentry kit is available near your location.
It seemed like a tank round, but it can't be. I don't see one. Okay, I think I may have pissed them off a little. I'll maybe get up on that hill and hit them from there. Can I actually, like... It's weird that it would indicate that. It's almost like it says I could revive. And I know there is a tank that you can play the support variant that of the big tank that lets you do that. I have to be a little careful here. Oh, he's in the field gun. All right.
Enemy heavies right there!
The enemy has defused objective butter.
thankfully that missed. That might not.
We have armed objective butter.
Okay. Oh hi. No, I'm not gonna stick around and let you do that.
The enemy has
That should
defused
cover my back.
objective butter.
Let's go on there so I can actually help the objective. That's a lot of grenades. Okay, that's a problem. That was hopeless. Utterly hopeless. Didn't get anything done. Alright. Let's take a different land ship, the one that might actually work. Squad support land ship. Sure. I don't actually know what's on the squad support land ship. It has a gun on the reverse that I can switch to, but I can't drive in the process, so what's the point? It's something that a bunch of people could get in, but aren't going to, so this is probably a waste of time for everyone concerned. And that's what, a sort of autocannon on the front of it? Come on, we have 2 tanks. Surely we can break an open point with that. Apparently the answer to that is we can't, no. Oh, Christ. Also, the squad support land ship can provide healing. Fuck me! Oh. Jesus. Getting nowhere. At that point, it seems like just fucking spawn an artillery truck and shell point B so we can get into it. Problem is getting a bead on it. It's tricky enough. We're just gonna lose this, like, we're already burned out, basically, at this point. Can't hit shit. I don't really want to drive any closer, because it'll get hit, but... what choice do we have? Stop rolling down that bloody hill. Yup. That was that. Next round starts in way too fucking long, is the question. It's forever. Alright, we're defending this time. Hit the light close support tank. Get nice and close to one of the objectives and try and hold it there. Don't see anybody.
Enemy coordinates have been sent to our artillery.
Oh. Incoming tank. Trying to outmaneuver this bastard. Yeah, that works. Get out of the tank and just throw a grenade instead. Okay. Also, is this not a pretty as fuck pistol? I will say that. That is a very good looking gun.
Enemy coordinates have been sent to our artillery.
That's gonna be a problem. Ow. What hit me? Well, what it was, but if I move now, I'm dead. Medics, do we have any of those? Apparently not. Okay. Splat. Straight away. It was a high explosive grenade, it's supposed to be AT.
We have defused objective apples.
Don't know how good it is. I'm not 100% convinced about the grenade crossbow. It's a silly little idea, but...
The enemy has armed objective apples.
I'm just checking he's actually friendly, yes? Well, somebody ate the gas. Might as well throw another one in there. That's not a gas grenade whatsoever. But that's also fine. Let's defuse this shit. Shit has been defused.
We have defused objective.
Ow. We don't have a single medic from what I can tell, so I might want to actually roll one. Everyone else seems to be like, no, we're not doing that.
The enemy has armed objective butter.
For Christ's sake, there's a tank right behind me. Ow! How many bullets do you fucking need? Well, we lost that pretty much immediately. That was embarrassing. Wasn't that the point that we also failed to take at all as the other team? Because if that's the case, that's very embarrassing.
The enemy is advancing.
Apparently so. Nobody there. Take fire from that area. We've got a vehicle over there that he's targeting. I don't know how much damage the artillery does to it. Uh-oh. I think we may have attracted their attention. I also don't think this machine gun is going to do a fucking thing about it. Somehow. I'm hoping... Does this thing even have any sort of anti-tank in it? It doesn't, does it? Yeah, time to leave. At least we can blow up his shit, too. Kill it! Kill it! Kill it! Yes! Perfect. Oh, Christ. Yeah, I think there's a bit of an imbalance between the teams, because we're getting steamrolled and not much happened to us, with us last time. It's getting totally wrecked. Well, I managed to miss with all of those, which is extremely impressive, really, when you think about it. Get in that gun. Faster than that! God. We got dudes coming our way, for God's sake. Kill them. They have fucking horses coming our way. That's a tank. This isn't gonna help. Oh, for Christ's sake, come on! I saw it coming. It didn't matter. That's Battlefield in a nutshell. I saw it coming. It didn't matter. Thanks for... I'm sure the medic has more important things to do. Why are we so shit? Valid fucking question. Fuck your horse and fuck you for riding in on it. We are shit! Why are we so shit? I don't understand. Alright. I'm breaking out the flamethrower tank just because I have the flamethrower tank, and I'm just hoping that people actually mount the flamethrowers, otherwise this is not going to be anywhere near as fun as it should be. At least we have the tank and not them. They will tend to do that, yes. It's like, right, if we have the flamethrower tank at this point, and we block this, how the fuck can they possibly get in? Because we have a flamethrower. At least we would if people would mount the flamethrower. They're not mounting the flamethrower. They're actually...
Enemy coordinates have been sent to our artillery.
mounting anything that isn't the flamethrower. As they get into that nice little valley over here. Let's set it up so no one gets close, gets just set on fire. I think that's a fairly reasonable thing to do. Looks like there's someone above me. I'm gonna use the gas. A sniper over there. That's a tank. We hit it pretty well, but he hit us better, I think. Where the hell? Fucking asshole with the... Alright. Use the instant repair. Deploy the gas. Return fire for the love of... Apparently that wasn't enough either. Oh my. Well, we tried. I don't think anyone in my tank actually used the flamethrowers ever, which is kind of the problem. Half of the people don't even know that they exist. So they're just getting the machine guns instead. Well, this is going to be rough. Pretty sure they have a tank on the objective. I'm going to try and do what we can about that. Like maybe get on the field gun. Go away! Oh, it's the guy in the armor suit. Of course it is. Again, so completely trounced. Jesus. It isn't even close.
We have lost objective butter.
It isn't even close.
A flame trooper kit is available near your location.
I'm not sure if flame troopers can get us very far on this map. But we'll see. Well, let me guess. The heavy tank's probably still alive, yes? Yep, I'd call that still alive. We hit it. Don't know how much it helped, but we did fucking hit it. So there is that. Also, I know for a fact there's a sniper over here. And I... Nice shot. Oh, God! What am I taking hits from? Something I probably can't kill. How are they on objective apples already? Jesus. What? Come on. Did they really have grenades? I mean, they had a bunch of stupid shit in World War One. It's entirely possible they thought... I mean, if you think about it, it's not a bad idea. It's like, right, okay. They're in trenches. We know this. We also know that grenades are pretty damn effective. The problem is, we're limited by our ability to throw them. So, how about we, you know, use some kind of launcher? I mean, if you think about it, this is a grenade launcher. A launcher of grenades. So, it wouldn't in any way surprise me if they tried that. We can't stop them. We're shit. Get your fucking head down. I can't even see a target. Still don't think MGs are very good in this game, I have to admit. Oh, God. Tanks, 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 tanks. Fuck you. What is this song? It's from the Gun Girl 2 soundtrack, apparently. Jesus. If we're gonna have a bunch of tanks, we're gonna at least try and blow them the fuck up. Ah, I can't see them. Because it was the same color as the sand over there. Yeah, LMGs are still terrible in this game, in my opinion. They just don't do enough damage. They're too inaccurate, and they make you prone, and that means all that happens is you get shot in the head by a scoped rifle. Like, the bar storm is okay, but at that point you might as well be playing assault, because they have better weapons like that. Like this, which is a really fucking good weapon, or the Automatica, which is also really, really good. I don't want to be out here. If I'm going to fight with this, I should absolutely fight properly with it. I don't even know why I'm giving squad orders. Nobody ever joined my damn squad. I was like, this gun is fine. You can do that with it, and that's easy. And you could do that with it, which is also easy. So, I mean, might be an idea if someone fucking defused this. I guess it's gonna be me. Alright. Maybe that's why we keep losing, because no one else on the team seems to know what that means. We'll see. That's actually a pretty good song. No, I thought that was an enemy. Looked like one. Gas, gas, gas. Alright. Where are you? Shit. You found me a little faster than I would have liked. Is he still there? Yep, yep, he absolutely is. Yeah. That is an issue with this game. The level 10 weapons are stupid good. Like, the assault level 10 weapon is best in class, I think. I mean, I like the Automatico. I do very well with it, but I think that this is just flat out better than every other assault weapon. I don't know about the others. Like, I don't think... The Martini Henry, I'm pretty sure, got nerfed, and it was kind of hard to use in the first place. So you could make the argument that the Martini Henry does not qualify as best in class, but I'm pretty sure the medic rifle's very, very good. I'm not so sure about the LMG. I'd love to see a Battlefield game that was set in a fictional setting, because they're all set in fictional settings. Pro tip, this wasn't what World War I was like at all. No. Battlefield is fictional one way or the other. Might as well go the whole fucking hog, right? Oh, that's a tank, isn't it? Oh, Jesus. I mean, I do have 80 grenades, but probably not going to hit anything with it. Level 10, the Martini Henry was good. It was. I thought they nerfed it, though. I might just be utter shit with it. That might be why. All I know is I just, like, bought the fucking pack that let me have everything. So, like, fuck this. I can't be asked to wait. It's like I play the game so infrequently anyway that I don't want to be restricted by what I can have. So I don't mind paying the extra money. Even though it's a super scam. Whatever. Doesn't bother me that much. Great! Great! Just awesome. Stuck on terrain. I actually did make a Lord of the Rings Battlefield. It's called Lord of the Rings Conquest. It was actually a Lord of the Rings Battlefront, more specifically. I don't recall it being very good, although at the time, I actually bought it for the single player. That was a huge mistake. Bastard right behind me, innit? My AT grenades. Doesn't matter, got you on the face. Well, I think it's clear to see who was the better team in that one, considering I don't think we even managed to take the first point, and they ran over us completely. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a fantasy Battlefield as it was, considering it already really is. The alternate Civil War game with steampunk stuff. Yes, that was called Gettysburg Armed Warfare, and it was awful. Just absolutely dreadful in pretty much every way. So it's not the best example of that. Great concept, awful implementation. I think fictional setting would sell fine. You just put the word battlefield at the front of it and it'll sell just fine. I mean, Call of Duty's been selling millions of copies for the last few years in fictional settings. I don't see that being a problem. But even as much as people say, oh, it didn't sell well this year. Yeah, it fucking did. It sold tons. Maybe not as well as other Call of Duty games, but it definitely sold. It was not a failure. Relatively speaking, perhaps. I've been getting decent at planes. Decent. Not brilliant, but... not being too shabby at them lately. But... we're about to crash into a fucking tree or something. No, man. For some reason, this is my sensitivity's all out of whack as well. Ow! What the hell? Fucking flak. Yep, that's flak. The thing that ruins everything. They nerfed it a bit apparently, but I don't know how much they really did. It really depends on the map design. On a map like this, where everything is so lined up, I don't think the nerf really makes much of a difference. Oh, those rockets actually don't do much damage at all to tank, do they? Oh, that was it. Yeah, I actually was playing an attack plane instead of a fighter. I thought, this is not maneuvering as fast as it usually does. What the hell's up with that? Alright, we have a target now. Stop wasting my time on the ground. Oh, no, cause flak. At least I can get out of the way of that with a plane like this. Whereas the other one is just not fast enough to.
We have taken objective Duff.
I think he actually just outmaneuvered me. Which is terrible and embarrassing. I lost him. Fuck. Oh, no, that's our friendly bomber. Please tell me I calculated this correctly. Yes, I did. It's like, this could be really shit if I'm going down at too bad an angle. Let's get this thing fixed up back up to full before we get back in.
Return to the combat area.
Point taken. I want to burn in there pretty quickly, otherwise we're going to get... Come on, this is the combat area. Fuck, that was close. Disturbingly so. Plane over there. Let's get on his back side. He's after our bomber. Make sure he can't get it. There we go. He's down. Saved the bomber. I'm not terrible at the fighter. That fucker on the flak is what's screwing me over. I'll try and get him, maybe flying low and strafe him, but I don't know exactly where the flak is on this map, so I don't know how much I can really do to him. Let's get accelerate here, nice and low. Get the rockets ready. It's coming from there, isn't it? It's at least something like that anyway. Kick it into high gear. Game does look gorgeous, I'll give it that. I don't think anybody was ever complaining about the way this game looked. Yeah, got it. Okay, I think this looks like the sky's clear. I don't think they have any planes up. Which makes me kind of useless, unfortunately. It's like I could strafe the ground and be a target for flak, and that's really about it. My rockets don't do a lot of damage to anything that's not an aircraft. Something's hitting flak. Yep, that's actually an enemy plane. At least it was. I fucking lost track of it. I think it went down. That's an enemy plane. Yep. That sounds about right. That's about how they go. Well, at least I stayed up for a while, and that was hilarious and terrible. Oh god. Hey, that was the flak dude. Fuck you. Maybe I should take your flak instead. That was the enemy plane just going over my head, wasn't it? Yeah, it's not actually got a great position. It's just if you fly over D. Otherwise, you can't actually really get hit by it. Although someone really wants to hit me, apparently. Alright, so flak's coming over there, and I'm pretty sure there's a dude over here as well. That was hopeless. That was just embarrassingly bad on my part. I'll back that tank up. Okay, can't do anything in this position, but at least I'm spawned in a useful spot, right? I'm gonna head towards E. Someone's shooting me from behind. Nope. What I need is my damn glasses back, because I'm gonna be honest, like, for the past month or so, my glasses have been broken, I can't see shit. So it's very easy for me to miss things, unsurprisingly. Battlefield! Realism, realism, realism. Oh dear. The hell was that? I don't know, but it looks pretty messy to me. What? Of course! Of course it was. Splat out of nowhere. Killed by something you can't see the video game. I think with the attack plane you can also... Nah, the tank hunter one's the funniest one. They just put a cannon in the front of it. It's like, yeah, you gotta shoot the tanks with this. It's like, nobody is gonna be able to do that. I pretty much knew that was gonna happen, but I was fairly sure I could probably take the hit and he couldn't. As it turns out, I was actually wrong but on both counts. And I've lost a lot of my maneuverability. So I don't know if I can actually get him. Oh, I disabled him. He's going down. Can I get back to the combat area before... Alright. Now quickly repair. And hope that there's nobody in that flak turret. Please repair faster than this, faster than this, faster than this. Thank you. There we go. Oh, I think I stalled. I fucking stalled it. Get a move on. Kick it into high gear. Decent amount of damage to him. Come on. Get around here. I need to get outmaneuver an attack plane, for fuck's sake. Did he bail? No, he's still in it. He's down. Okay. Get this shit fixed. Quickly turn around so we don't get killed for getting out of the combat area, because I boosted right into the non-combat area, which maybe is not a good idea. Is that an enemy bomber or one of ours? Come on. It's an enemy bomber. That is my job. Should have got way closer before I used the rockets, but we can still fill it full of fucking holes at least. He's got a tail gunner, which is a bit annoying. I'm gonna crash into the damn thing, aren't I? Nope. Turns out I'm actually not. We got him. Let's see if we can fix this thing before I get shot out of the sky. Hope somebody is not liking me. Oh, come on! Alright. I might be able to pull out of this. Yeah! I am sorry, but that was sick. Alright. Get back to the fucking combat area. Well, that ruined the whole thing, didn't it? You should have way longer in a plane to get back to the combat area, especially considering the turning circles of the fucking things. Yeah, rockets were a thing on planes briefly in World War I. The thing is, they were shit. That was the main problem. They did equip... the French used rockets briefly on their planes. As it turns out, like, they had an accuracy of about 20 feet and didn't work in the rain. They were basically fireworks, quite literally, just fireworks on the wings. For all intents and purposes. Whoa! Gee. I mean, I didn't actually mean to bail on my plane like that, but... It doesn't look dead. I could probably still get into it. This is a mistake. Accidentally I think it should be double tap to bail. That would maybe be the best way to go. It's very, very easy to accidentally bail out on your plane in this game. Unguided rockets are pretty damn good now. The thing about unguided rockets is that you can generally do the job with them and they don't cost a lot of money. There's a dude in here, I don't know where he is. It's like, they're capturing, but there's nobody on the point. How is that possible? It's because he's there! Bastard. Rockets are pretty great, especially if fired from a stable platform. They're fantastic on helicopters. And as I said, it's a quite cheap way to blow up light vehicles. Hell of a lot cheaper than a guided missile. So not a terrible idea. Unfortunately, of course, in World War I, they were shit. So, you know, there was that. And if I recall correctly, the German Stukas, was it the Stuka? I think used rockets as tank busters, and the Yak did as well, the Russian Yak. To pretty fucking great effect. So I'm not, I don't agree that rockets are bad. They're potentially bad. I was caught out in the middle of absolutely nothing there. Didn't hit shit.
Halfway there, we have the upper hand.
Modern guidance systems, rockets are probably pretty fucking good, honestly. You know what isn't good? Try to fire at that range with this. Can't get through there, can I? I really don't want to go down there because there's a dude... Oh, never mind. I'm just hopeless today, aren't I? Really hopeless.
We have taken objective apples.
Yeah, you're right. It wasn't Stuka. There was definitely a German plane that was pretty successful with it, and I know for a fact that the Russians used it pretty damn well in World War II. Obviously, rockets were pretty important in Vietnam as well. So I think for the military at the moment in particular, you know, cost effectiveness is a pretty high priority, which is why they're looking at lasers. That laser, the shipborne laser, the really powerful one that they tested that is basically $1 a shot. That's the fucking future. It's like, oh, cool. It can, instead of a ship-to-ship missile or, of course, an interceptor missile, which is extremely expensive, we can just use a laser. And suddenly costs go way, way, way down. The advanced sort of, it wasn't a railgun, but the advanced tracked munitions program that they put on the Zumwalt probably would have worked the same way as well. But unfortunately, they cut the number of Zumwalt class destroyers that they were going to build. And then they massively downgraded the number of rounds as a result that was going to be ordered. So as, you know, economies of scale, you're probably well aware, the rounds end up being super expensive, and then they're like, well, we don't want to equip them anymore. It's like, yeah, but we designed the gun for them, so we can't, what the fuck else can we put in them? So, you know, that's a interesting factor. I do like to read about this stuff. I try to keep up to date on it. You know, military spending is obviously like a fairly important political issue as well. It's used as political football a lot of the time. And it's like, it's way more misunderstood. I didn't even kill him! It's way more misunderstood than you might think. Because, you know, a lot of people have a lot of different agendas regarding that and like to spin it in different directions. I've been reading a lot about the F-35, for instance. Because, of course, if, you know, you believe certain sources, the F-35 is a massive waste of money. And it's not actually a capable aircraft. But the more I read about it, the more it seems that that actually is not really true. It's pretty damn good at what it does for what it's supposed to do. And the concept of that a lot of people seem to have for it is just irrelevant. Because the kind of combat they are imagining it to be involved in is something that doesn't happen anymore. This idea of dogfighting. It's like, who the fuck we gonna dogfight? Exactly. When's that gonna happen? Who's it gonna be? Russia? China? That's about it. For the most part, our planes are being used in the desert for anti-insurgency operations. Is the F-35 good at that? I mean, it's not amazing at it, but it's a hell of a lot better than a fucking F-15 or other things which were designed for anything that wasn't fighting guys with AK-47s in the sand. The issue of standardization is a big deal with the F-35 program. The idea that you can use a single airframe to fulfill multiple roles, and then that means that maintenance costs go drastically down over time, and overall upgrade costs and keeping the fleet going is much, much cheaper than it would be with a multitude of different aircraft. I mean, when it comes to blowing up, like, insurgents in the desert with an F-35, you can do it with a JDAM. The thing is, you could also do that with an F-16. But the point is, the older your fleet is, the more expensive it becomes to maintain. There's a time when you hit this optimal... Oh, Christ. There's a time when you hit the optimal cost ratio versus age of a particular piece of military hardware, where basically it's been made enough that the cost of it has gone down overall, and it's got to the point where it's as economical as it's going to get. The problem is that there's also a point where it starts to get more expensive again, and it's because of the age of the fucking thing and the amount of maintenance and man-hours you have to put into keeping it flying based on the ages of the airframes and the lack of advanced technology. Which is why, like, there were some arguments against the A-10 for a while, and there's definitely arguments. We're getting political again. I just find this whole thing fascinating. Like, don't take my word as an expert political opinion. This is just sort of like, this is more interest. Like, it's like, hey, this is kind of a fascinating topic. The idea that, you know, Trump, for some reason, thinks, you know, F-35 is a piece of shit, we should cancel it, and we should just use F-15s and F-18s, F-18 Super Hornets. And I looked up on that and thought, you know, okay, does he have a point on that? And looking at the information on it, it seems like actually maintaining the aging fleet of F-18 Super Hornets is nowhere near as cheap as you might think. Because, like, oh, well, you could just use Hornet parts, right? Well, apparently, the F-18 Super Hornet in its current form isn't even the same aircraft as the F-18 Hornet was a while ago. Like, it's basically a completely different aircraft at this point. And maintaining it, paying for it, and equipping it to do the role is not cheaper. It's actually, in the long run, both more expensive, and it means that we have a less advanced aircraft, which isn't going to be able to handle the rigors of future warfare anywhere near as well as the other one is. There's also, like, you know, I love the F-22 is a fucking beautiful piece of engineering. I was like, oh god, why don't we just have a bunch of them? You know, isn't that a better idea? Why did we stop making those? Well, turns out, pretty damn fucking good reason for it. Like, They're incredible, like, stealth air-to-air aircraft. Just amazing fucking things. Turns out we actually don't need that many of those. We don't need 1,000 F-22s, because who are we going to shoot with them? What? We have 160. And they're active, and they're flying, and they're flown by some really fucking experienced people. So, in reality, we've actually got enough of those things. Because for the other roles that we need aircraft for, the F-22 is not a good aircraft. And the F-35 is arguably better, not to mention it in its scale and the way that they're using the airframe, it's going to be in the long run a fuck-ton cheaper. It went way over budget, but the fact of the matter is that these are pieces of technology designed for 20-plus years of use. And when you've put 10 years of development into something and you've got it flying and you actually have squadrons of it going, that's not the time to cancel it. Over time, it will be totally reasonable. And the aircraft should do a pretty damn good job now that the kinks have been got out of it. As far as I know, anyway. This is what I've read. Yeah. It's a much better aircraft than people seem to think it is. And when it comes to things like the A-10, the initial argument for getting rid of them, yeah, that was based on what they thought at the time, that, again, this shitting fucking thing is old, takes a ton of time to maintain, a ton of money to maintain, it's nowhere near as tough as it used to be. Like, yeah, the whole myth, well, it's not even a myth, it can do this, about the A-10 could fly home with one wing and most of its system shot out. Yes, it could. And at the time when it was flying, the weapons available to shoot at it were not strong enough to bring the fucking thing down. The problem is they are now. And the damn thing is, you know, is slow, easy to lock onto and easy to shoot down, and the armor doesn't hold up anymore. But, as it turns out, because again, you know, we need aircraft for certain roles, and specifically, you know, anti-insurgency warfare, as it turns out, the A-10 actually may be far more fucking useful than we think. Because if these guys are still using tech from the 1970s, then the A-10 is a fantastic aircraft. Which is why they've stopped canning the damn thing. That's why they're keeping the fleet, and they're actually going to keep maintaining it and upgrading it. You know, like I said, what the military needs versus what, like, Congress is willing to pay for, which versus what you can then sell to the public, is the issue of the military, really. The general public doesn't understand what is really needed. Congress doesn't necessarily understand what is needed. The army knows what it thinks it needs, but doesn't necessarily need it. So there's a lot of disagreement. And we very much, like, we love to idolize certain pieces of military technology. There's a romanticism involving those aircraft and tanks and things like that, which can affect our ability to accurately make that kind of decision. Well, that didn't work as well as I hoped. Fuck. So I guess if there's a lesson to be taken from this, it's that it's good to read a lot about these things and read the different opinions, because everything's not as easy to fathom as it seems. Don't just take one source for it. This was an interesting place to spawn. Holy fuck. Ah! Wow. Sup. That was intriguing. Ow. Yeah, I mean, when I say we mean the US, because no one else is allowed to operate an A-10, so obviously it means we. It was the same issue with the Eurofighter as well. I know there was equal controversy surrounding the Eurofighter in England for a while. That this thing was shit, it wasn't going to be able to keep up with everything, we'd spent a bunch of money on nothing. There's now more controversy over Britain using the F-35 as well. And it's like, actually, Britain kind of needs to use the F-35 because the new carrier we're building, the Queen Elizabeth, is built around that. Like, the amount of money it would cost to change the aircraft that we're using and redo the Queen Elizabeth would be insane. Like, this stuff is planned like 10 plus years in advance. You know, sometimes the public's very right. I mean, I remember I was watching... This is not going to go well for me, is it? I was watching Forgotten Weapons again. Ian was talking about the L85, the original L85, which was the British service rifle, and how much of a piece of shit it was. I actually had a... when I was at university, I had a housemate who was in the British military for a few years, and he had to use that thing. And he told me horror stories about it as well. It had way too many components. When something went wrong with it, which it frequently did, you had to take the whole thing apart and clean the whole thing. Because if you didn't, then it just wouldn't work anymore. It broke in sand all the time. It fell to pieces. It wasn't durable enough. Yeah, it had some fucking problems. And obviously, like, eventually there was a leaked report to the British public that caused the DoD to have to back off on that, and they ended up getting Heckler and Koch to basically remake the whole rifle. The thing is, like, now, the L85A2 is apparently a pretty good gun. But it's got this nasty stigma attached to it now because of the original version. I think that's a fascinating story, but you always have to be careful about, especially media representation of that kind of thing versus political representation of it, because that kind of thing turns into political football really easily. But yeah, at one point now in chat, like one of actually the biggest problems at the moment. How well did I do? Probably terribly. Yeah, not great. I was okay in the fighter, but one of the biggest problems. You know, I'm actually going to play the custom mode. That armored mode is pretty good. Take snipers out of the equation as well. Well, the issue is not how good the plane is. The plane's good. The problem is the software and America not giving foreign purchasers of the F-35 direct access to it. Which means that basically you're tied to the American manufacturers there. You're completely dependent on them to make the planes even work. Because a lot of proprietary software and technology in there. So that's kind of one of the issues, especially if you've got, you know, you have a president-elect that's talking about withdrawing from NATO if they don't pay more money. That's a huge problem. It's like, all right, so, you know, if there's actually, like, if America does back off from its allies, we end up with a bunch of F-35s and we can't necessarily use them properly. I can see that being a problem. Yeah, I mean, I find the whole thing fascinating. I like reading about that stuff. Armored Kill Conquest, that's the mode of the week. It's pretty fun. They disable, I think, they disable sniper rifles and a couple of other things. They put more tanks and more planes on the map. It's actually kind of neat. Yeah, I like reading about the new stuff. I've been trying to keep an eye on sort of what China's doing, and obviously that's difficult because there's quite a bit of misinformation about that. It's like they're still using a lot of reverse-engineered Russian tech, but they're developing their own stuff. It's like, how effective is it? Do we know? We don't really. You know, we only kind of have their word for it. So this mode has no snipers available and also no scoped medic rifles. So it's actually kind of... it's not bad. And there's a few more vehicles and a few more planes, I believe. So I'll say not an unenjoyable variation. I think more so than anything, the fact they're doing weekly rule sets is keeping me more interested in the game. What they need to do is set it up so that custom servers can like do a lot of really cool different rule sets. Because right now they can't. I want to run a server for people. But the rule set that I want to run is not something that the current mode supports. And because there's no real server package and you can't mod this game, well, therein lies your problem, right? Future collabs with Ian? Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm always open to it. It's just, you know, in that particular situation, we happen to go and fire a bunch of weapons, which I don't get to do very often, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to collab with him that often, you know. His channel is very different to what we do, and that's okay. Did I play Star Wars Battlefront lately? I actually did. During the free weekend where all the DLC was unlocked. The battleship, battle station mode is good. Unfortunately, outside of the free weekends, you can't get a fucking queue for it. I mentioned in the Arbitrary Awards, you know, it's kind of a big problem with Season Pass DLC for games like that. It simply comes down to the fact that you can't find the players. The game has so many modes and so many queues, and you have to pay for so much of it, and so many people didn't pay, rightfully so. The population count on PC is shit. Like, that's something you gotta understand. The population sucks. So, that mode is pretty good. It's pretty fun. I enjoyed it. But, unfortunately, it's difficult to justify telling anyone to go play it because you're paying money for something that doesn't have a good queue. Yeah, you split the player base so much. It was an incredibly stupid thing to do. Not at all smart on their part. You know, and the problem is, like, those are games that need, like, 40 people to play the proper mode. It's like, right, okay, well, that's a problem. At least with, you know, with games that have smaller player counts, you can get around the fact that there's, like, a small player base, but with games like that, you can't get away with that. That's not okay at that point. At all. Not even close to being okay. Oh, Christ. Well, I can't see shit. I have a feeling I'm about to die horribly. I'm in the middle of nowhere. Disabled it. Nice. That went fairly well. There's another guy down there, isn't there? Yeah, there he is. Oh, hi! He's still here. Nope. Thank you, whoever just saved my ass there. I really don't like being sitting in a hole here. There's a tank over there. Let's get the AT round ready. That hit it way less hard than I'd hoped. I hope that hits. Otherwise, we're fresh out of things to kill that with. Did I see a head move over there, or is that just something blowing around? Good question. I have 28 rounds left in this. Oh, fuck. Out of ammo, out of ammo. Alright, well. I think I'm dead now. It missed. There's that. I have a revolver. It's okay. I have a fucking revolver. Oh, I think everyone's dead. Alright then. Ow! Maybe not. Well, at least I heard it a bit. JP's not playing, is he? I thought, according to the queue, he's playing Mass Effect, not this. Here we go again. Oh, shit. Should have seen that coming a mile away. Well, considering how many aircraft there are, I think I can play a fighter and do relatively well with it. He says before he's immediately shot down. So I don't think I'm bad at the fighter. I'm fairly good. Better than most, maybe. I was about to say before he crashes the fucking thing into the floor. That's a lot of smoke. Let's stay on this guy so we can't repair it. Put a hole in his right wing. Oh, this guy is evasive. We got him. Oh, none of those hit. Where'd he go? Can't have gone that far. He's a bomber. I'm very glad there's no one on the flak under there, otherwise I'd be... Oh! Spoke too soon. I think there's somebody above me. Where'd he fucking go? I should really have my flight stick plugged in for this. Hello. I did not know I had a Japanese version of this song, but it's amusing. Ugh, I didn't reload the rack of rockets, I'm an idiot. Alright, I'm gonna have to break off and repair, I think.
Return to the combat area.
Yeah, I'll try and do a few more mailboxes at some point. They're gonna fucking time me out again, aren't they? I hate that. Just make it 20. That 10, really 10? Especially since you have to fucking fly in a straight line to repair. It's just silly. Well, this put me in the middle of nowhere. I was thinking of doing a mailbox where I just, like, answer all of the terrible criticisms that I got of my top 10 list. That would be quite amusing. But then people would pull the same shit. You shouldn't be doing it, or you can't take criticism. When did, if you respond to criticism, become you can't take criticism? That's not the same thing. People's definition of you can't take criticism basically comes down to you have to silently accept no matter how stupid every single piece of negative feedback that you receive. It's like, no, you don't. Not at all. It's mostly dumb as fuck. That is a pretty significant reason not to accept it. There's definitely some amusing stuff on NeoGAF, as there always is every year for that one. The one I like the most is, someone said, oh, I guess the marketing team that put this together decided to play it safe this year. I was like, sorry, what? Then there's a guy that got mad there was no Uncharted 4 on the list. That was funny. And then there was the ones that didn't watch the list and then criticizing the list. Those are always cute. It's like, well, how could this be on the list? Like, yeah, but the criteria is quite specific. But they don't even necessarily know what the criteria is because they didn't watch the video in the first place. So that's always fun. I don't have many bullets left, do I? Doesn't matter. There we've had a couple of guys saying that I'm awful for having put XCOM there because it has performance problems for some people. It's like, yeah, I mean, I already explained that. And more to the point, it didn't for me. I'm sorry to tell you this, but... I mean, I made videos on that game pre-release, after release. and it ran pretty damn well. It wasn't perfect, but also it's a turn-based tactics game. The frame rate is nowhere near as important as it would be in other genres. And like I said, the requirement to get on the list is my personal enjoyment. It's not how well it runs. If how well it runs has affected my personal enjoyment to the point where it wouldn't be that high on the list, then it wouldn't be that high on the list. But I think it's pretty evident that it didn't. And everything else is, like, you know, some weird set of fucking pseudo-objective standards that some people are trying to apply. It's like, you what? It's a lol. It's a top 10 list. There's no objective standard. Nothing deserves to be on that list unless it fulfills my criteria. And my criteria is I enjoyed playing this the most this year. That's it. That's as far as it goes. It sucks that XCOM 2 has problems for some people. I am unfortunately not one of them. And that is relevant. Very, very, very relevant. Ow. The hell was that? If you want someone to piss people off, then state an opinion about how much you like the video game. That gets them fucking riled up. I got a shot through my wing. I'm not moving well anymore. Someone's on my tail, and I don't think I'm going to be able to outmaneuver them. Oh dear. This is not going to go as well as I'd hope, is it? Oh, I got it fixed. There we go.
We have taken objective Charlie.
Where is that bastard? Oh, nobody there. Yeah, some of them are really funny. I enjoy laughing at them on a yearly basis. You're not going to be able to make that turn. He actually did. That's amazing. This guy's going to outfly me at this point. Kind of that. Christ, he actually is as well. He's a tricky bastard. Oh, I'm taking a lot of fire from the ground. Need to get the hell out of there.
We have taken objective Freddy.
I could respond to it, but I don't know. Probably isn't worth it. Where are you? You're around here fucking somewhere, I know that.
Enemy armored train
Oh
is on
god. Here's the train of pain. Behemoths are shit and shouldn't be in the game. I'm sorry. They're just... I hate them.
We have taken objective George.
I still think I might have a maneuverability issue. Oh. Enemy armor train on a route and then we won? Oh, okay. Sure. That's weird. Isn't that supposed to be... That's supposed to happen halfway through, right? I don't know. Alright, well, now it's a good time to wrap up, I guess. Before we do that, though, let's, just for an exercise in amusement, let's, have a little look at the NeoGAF thread and laugh at some of the sillier comments, shall we? Just for a kick. Just a little kick. I won't tell you who posted them, I'm not that mean, but some of these are really funny. Alright, let's see what we got. Disclaimer, the majority of the posts in here are totally reasonable, but every now and again there's someone that says something very, very, very ridiculous, and that's pretty hilarious. Second post, no Uncharted 4, is this a joke? That's funny. Admittedly, that could also just be a troll. Hard to know. XCOM 2 at number 1 and no Hitman. Come on, Plants vs. Zombies. I don't know how we left off Overwatch. Well, that's because you didn't watch the list. I told the people why I left off Overwatch, and apparently that's not a legitimate reason, according to some people. It's like, you can't do that. So yeah, I can. The list's based on what I enjoyed the most in 2016. Overwatch wasn't in the top 10. It would have been in the top 20. Again, I played most of my hours of Overwatch before the game came out, and that was in 2015. Just scrolling down here. It's like, a lot of these comments are great. Like, you know, NeoGAF has a bit of a bad rep in some places, but most people on there are reasonable. It's just every now and then, some people have some... It's a kind of... I mean, they have a bit of a console leaning, so they tend to get... Especially Sony. I notice there's a lot of Sony support on NeoGAF for whatever reason. So people tend to get a bit upset if you say something either anti-Sony or don't recognize Sony exclusives. Let's see. It may be that some people had their comments deleted. Here's one. The new Plants vs. Zombies mobile game. Forget about Totalbiscuit. More like total bullshit. Ooh, sick burn. How will I recover? Get me a life flight immediately to the nearest burn center after that one. It's always like you should play Clash Royale. It's like, yeah, I did. People wondered about that, incidentally. Like, was Clash Royale not in your top 10? It's in my top 15. Definitely. It's like Fury. People said Fury. I don't know why people thought I liked Fury. I respect Fury. I don't actually like Fury. I don't like playing it. Redout is in the top 15 to 20, I would say. I like that. Clash Royale definitely is, but it's not in the top 10. I enjoy Plants vs. Zombies more. There was a couple of other things that didn't quite make it. Like Icy. I wouldn't put that in the top 10, but it would be in a top 20. Things like that. There's a really hilarious comment about board games later in the thread. I'll have to find that. Let's see. This is fine, this is fine. That's it. There's not that many terrible comments, but some of them are really hilarious. Where are we looking for? I get this is PC only list, but man, is this not stale? What does that mean? Not even PC only list. One of them's a goddamn board game. Oh dear. Gotta get those page views and clicks for being different. What? What? Yes, that... Here's the interesting thing about the idea of clickbait. How do you bait clicks without baiting? If there's no bait, how do you bait? If you just say, this is my top 10, you don't say, you'll be shocked at number 6, or blah, blah, blah. How is that bait? How is anybody baited into anything? I don't quite fathom that. It's like, you were different to get controversy. What? No, I don't think so. Kind of feels a bit too try-hard on the contrarian front. Some big names near universally praised classics and arty games off the list in favor that's at best receive mixed reception for perceived flaws. I don't think we missed out, like universally praised what? Like, what was missing that I liked that would have genuinely belonged there? I can't think of anything. Unless, again, it's a console exclusive, and I probably didn't play it anyway in that case. Carpet's on a list he didn't play. That's a bit weird. It's like, the whole contrarian thing is bizarre, because you'd think if someone was just trying to be contrarian, it'd be very obvious from the opinion that they stated, that it wouldn't sound genuine, it wouldn't be a good reason. But that's the thing, like, all my stuff has good reasons backing it up. That's the whole point of my content. That's why the whole hilarious, like, oh, it's been for too long kind of thing is hilarious. It's like, I spent like 10 minutes at most per game. Do you think that's a long time? It's not. I could have made that video 4 hours. That would have probably been a little excessive, but it could have been a lot longer than it was. It's like, it could have been so much shorter. Really? How? Like, not without cutting out a bunch of shit that I really wanted to say it couldn't. No. No, it couldn't. You get it confused with it should be versus what you want it to be, and that's completely different. You don't get to change somebody else's content just because you don't like it. And then hiding that behind the, oh, it should be this way, instead of just accepting, oh, maybe this just isn't for me. That's a very strange notion. That I've seen that so much over the past 6 years. And it's like, come at me with some evidence that I wasted time during that video. Come at me with some evidence that says you could have said the same things in half the time without missing out key information and without missing out points that you wanted to make. Present me with that evidence. Let me guess, you're not going to. No one's ever going to do that. Because they're wrong. It's that simple. They don't actually have a bunch of stuff that could have been cut out of it. They don't know that. What's hilarious is there's people that believe I don't edit. Are you kidding me? I don't edit? You know how many edits there were in the Arbitrary Awards? I could tell you right now, actually. Let me load up Adobe Audition for a second. And I will tell you how many edits there were in that. I think this is the right one. Oh, it's going to take several minutes to load the Audition file, because as it turns out, there may very well be over 1,000! Hang on a moment. It shows me because every edit is a separate audio file, and there's a line put on the display every single time. I can show you. I'll show you how many edits there were in this show. Pro tip, a fucking lot of them. Let's see. Is this... I'm just checking that this is the entire file. I think it is. Yeah. Okay. Let me show you. Just making sure. It's like, am I showing a bunch of private information? I fucking hope not. Alright, let me show you screen capture right here. There we go. You see those lines? Right here? Every one of those lines is an edit. This is 3 hours, 50 minutes. I'm going to zoom in a bit, and you can see how many actual lines there are. Oh, shit. That's a lot of fucking lines. Still going, still going, still going, still going. How many files, exactly, are here? Because each of these separate WAV files is a separate edit. Still going, still going, still going. 409! And that's 409 separate audio files. That doesn't even count every single edit, because you can cut an audio file into multiple chunks. 409 separate audio files made up Arbitrary Awards 2016, and that was just the commentary. Do you see my point yet? Do you see my point? Anyone that thinks my content isn't edited is insane. That's nuts. There's a shit ton of editing in it. There's an assumption like, oh, your video's long, that means you didn't edit it properly? No! We did! There was just that much to go through. 409 audio files. That's only the commentary. So yes, don't you ever, ever let anybody tell me again that I don't edit my fucking videos. That is bullshit. Beyond bullshit. Anyway, back to the funny thread. Let's have a look. Tips Fedora hipster much? Yes, those hipster choices like Doom, and really popular games like Civilization and XCOM that sold millions of copies. Very hipster. Some very obscure titles in there. Uh-huh, sure. I do like the fact that one of the guys that was claiming contrarian, someone called him out on it, is like, oh, actually, I just don't like him. Cool. At least we know you were just lying because you didn't like a person instead of, oh, I don't know, actually telling the truth and having evidence to back up your points. Mm-hmm. There's one post in here that literally said, I think, you can't include a board game on a video game list because they're two completely different mediums like movie and games are. What? You do realize you can play board games on a PC, right? In fact, there's tons of digital board games. There's very little gap between them. At all. That's insane. That's very bizarre to me. Very strange. The man's taste in games is absolutely baffling to me. Everyone has an opinion, but TB really does make me question what the hell is running through his mind. What question is there exactly of that when I spend my time explaining why I think that? You know exactly what's running through my mind, because I told you. Very weird attitude. So I don't understand. I mean, okay. I mean, did I just not explain it well, or... It's very odd to, like, see, like, that kind of just narrow-mindedness, I think, in people. It's very strange to me. Especially when they go out of their way to explain it. If it was just a list with no explanation, I could get that point, but it's like, no, I spent a ton of time explaining why I liked them. Very strange. Very odd. Oh yeah, here's the one. Maybe the marketing team that put it together to generate clicks decided to play it safe this year. What? What? Are you? This post actually goes on and get it even worse. I find it interesting that Captain Sonar was included even in the board game world. That's a bit of a hipster choice. Really? It was the most... Outside of, like, maybe Seafall and Scythe, it was the most hyped board game of 2016. It sold out across America with its first print run really fast. There's nothing hipster about it. Like, it's had a ton of coverage and attention. If anything, it's more of a casual choice. Like, it's not a heavy game at all. Like, if I turn around and said... Even if I turn around and said Scythe, at least you could have argued, well, you picked something that was overly complicated for the sake of looking clever. Okay, I can get that, but even then, Scythe was very popular too. You'd have to dig real deep down to find a hipster choice of a board game, and Captain Sonar certainly is not one of them. That's one of the most obvious choices for board games this year. It's super popular. It's like, yeah, it does require a high player count, but that's the situation in which I play board games. I generally take them to conventions and play them with a large group of people. So, nothing unusual. It's a great game. Absolutely phenomenal game. Scrolling down the rest of it. So there's not that many bad comments in it. It's just the occasional, like, what? I think Reddit's probably a lot worse. Oh yes, TB lost some credibility after particularly dense impressions of Titanfall 2 and his even denser response to complaints. He was basically saying that things that were blatantly wrong and then complaining about them. Of course, the person didn't post a single example, because of course they didn't. They never do when they say things like that. Well, you'd think it'd be pretty damn easy to post an example if I was that wrong about that game. Like, no, I really was not wrong about anything. No, there was that minor issue with the way that the groups worked, I think, in the UI. The different sort of clan-style groups you could join. I was wrong about that. Everything else, I was right about, if I recall correctly. And if that wasn't true, then I'm sure someone would have actually taken the time to write out why, you would think. But no. Absolutely not. TB isn't really a multiplayer gamer. That's not true. Again, the post's not mean, it's just a bit of a weird misconception. But yeah, I am. I play multiplayer all the time. again, it's just the reason why Overwatch isn't there is because it was there last year and it didn't qualify the top 10. I didn't play that much of it on launch. Like, I played a decent amount, but most of my enjoyment came before that. This is dumb. This is maybe the worst post. Well, call me disappointed as a Totalbiscuit fan. Plants vs. Zombies Heroes is just a Clash Royale clone. What? You have not played it. It's not even the same genre. What are you talking about? It's a turn-based CCG. Clash Royale is a fucking real-time tactics game. You're not even close to being the same thing. Superhot was a neat demo back in 2013, but the full game absolutely is not. Where's your justification for that? Because I gave you 10 minutes of reasons why it was. You didn't give a single reason why it wasn't. A lot of people liked Superhot. It was in the conversation for a lot of people. I think the issue for Superhot for the most part is that some people saw the 2-hour campaign and thought that it wasn't worth the money. Thing is, that's really not the point. The whole point is you unlock all of the other modes and you play all of those. That's where your big replay value comes from. That's how you get 20, 30 hours out of it instead of 2. Really, that campaign was not the reason that you bought it for. It's missing Titanfall, Overwatch, and Stardew Valley. Well, again, gave you the Overwatch reasons. Titanfall 2, I didn't enjoy enough to be on the list, and I didn't even play Stardew Valley. Very strange. Yeah, it's not an objective list. It never was. There's no such thing as an objective list of best games. People pretending that they're making an objective list of best games are the wrong ones. And it always bothers me because when you get a list like that that's anything more than the opinions of the people that created it, then it's pretty much bullshit. It's like, right, well, I think we should include this game in this list, this top 10 list or whatever, because other people like it a lot. It's like, yeah, but then you're not expressing an opinion that you hold. I want to hear your opinion and why you think that, because everything else is just FUD at that point. Very strange. Let's look through the rest of it. It's probably not as funny as last year's. I do find it entertaining to read these threads. I think last year's had more salt in it, which is why it was funnier. And weirdly enough, a lot of the salt was for including Overwatch, and this year it's for not including Overwatch, which is hilarious. Mostly pretty sensible. That's an obvious troll. Fake gamer with his fake contrarian opinions probably doesn't even own the console. That obvious troll. It's hard to tell sometimes online, though, when you see things like that, because there are people that genuinely believe it. I was like, oh god. Oh no. I don't like this list. I miss Uncharted, The Last Guardian, Inside, or Firewatch there. I don't like the list because it didn't have the same games that I would have put in it. What's the point in a list if it's just the same things that you think? It's just a little pat on the head. It's like, good job, little Timmy. You have opinions that other people also share. Oh dear. So this weird claim that, like, XCOM 2 wasn't as popular as it deserved. Are you kidding me? It was a platinum seller last year. And it's still one of the top games on Steam. I think it's in the top 5 of most concurrents on launch ever. It was actually very successful, and not only was it very successful, it's still very successful. if we go to Steam charts right now, bear in mind this game has been out now for almost a year, and we look up XCOM 2, what you're going to find is that it's currently 10,000 players, which puts it in the top 30, I think, on Steam, for a game that's a year old. It's very popular, and it's sold, what, over 500,000? How many? Actually, it sold over 1 million copies. 1.18 million copies. That's a shit ton of copies for a turn-based game. So, no, I mean, XCOM 2 didn't do badly at all, and if people did have problems with the performance, it clearly didn't stop them playing it. Like, if you look at, like, what happened to No Man's Sky, bear in mind, No Man's Sky, I think, launched with twice the number of concurrents XCOM 2 did. If you look at how fast that plummeted versus the rate at which the player count decreased for XCOM 2, if you think they both had severe enough performance problems to cause that to happen, then I gotta ask why exactly it is that people stuck around with XCOM 2 and didn't stick around with No Man's Sky. Kind of proves my point, really, that actually the performance problems weren't as big a deal for people as they believed. They existed, no doubt, but there were plenty of people who could play that game without a problem. That's got a lot of it. It wasn't broken at launch, it had issues, but it was playable, obviously. And it clearly didn't get in the way of things. That's it. I'm not defending games that have poor performance, but again, you also have to always bear in mind that in many cases, performance varies on a case-by-case basis. There are very few games that are totally broken to the point they run badly on everything. There are some. Don't get me wrong, there are definitely some, but XCOM 2 was not one of those games. I played it on a high-spec machine, and I kept it above 60 the entire time, and it doesn't even matter with a turn-based game, but I did. I think it was just the last mission that dipped. And the last mission is because it's fucking huge. Another Totalbiscuit related piece of news which further confirms my decision to not tune into his channel. What? What is that? Oh, he has a Mario avatar. Well, I guess that would explain it. I'm glad that you have to consistently reassess your decision not to watch a YouTube video. I guess. Here's my schedule today. Get up. Get some breakfast. 2 slices of toast. Setting number 4 on the toaster, please. No higher. Have a glass of milk, and reaffirm my decision not to tune into a certain YouTube channel. Unless we do that at the start of every day, the day will not proceed as planned. Is there a competition who can put the least mainstream games on the list? It's full of mainstream games! Doom! Yes, that little-known indie title. XCOM. Civ. These are all mainstream games. Plants vs. Zombies is a mainstream game. What was number 6? Oh, it's Camp Persona. Pretty sure whatever number 7 was, which I've forgotten the name of, was a mainstream game. So there's a few indie games in there. That's about it. That niche, though. I don't think games that sell over 1 million copies are considered niche anymore at that point. Yeah, I think that's it in terms of, like, silly comments. Actually, surprisingly good. That's a pretty low ratio. I think it was, Face Punch that had some really silly stuff this year. Just losing their shit. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, like, I didn't look at most of the stuff on Reddit, because I probably would have lost my shit if I had. I can't imagine. Yeah, I think that's it from the NeoGAF thread. God knows what the face punch one is like. That's probably bad. We should probably look at that one as well before we go on. Like, let's troll through this. Why do I put myself through this? It's pain shared is pain endured, right? I actually don't even know how to... God, this... I don't even post in this form, but God, this looks a lot like something awful. In fact, it's identical, right? At least in terms of the setup. Huh. I don't know the history of face punch, I'm gonna be honest. That's probably got a lot to do with it. Was it started by someone from SA? Because, fuck, like, that was a lot of... really similar, like, icons and layout. Oh, there it is. There's the face punch thread. Yeah, let me save you some time, because the top 10 video shouldn't be an hour, 20 minutes. Oh no, 10 minutes per fucking game. Long videos! I should change my intro to that. Like, oh no, long videos or something. Oh, that was it. Yeah, it wasn't NeoGaf that said that. It was Face Punch. Captain Sonar lumping board games and video games together is like lumping movies and television together. Probably even more different, actually. What? What? They are literally the two closest mediums that exist. They're the same. You can play a board game on a computer. And there are plenty of digital implementations. Fuck. How are they... They're not different at all. So weird. What a strange fucking idea. God. Oh dear Lord. I won't watch any video that's over 40 minutes. Oh no, we lost him. Terrible. Oh god, the same guy's going on about TV shows being cinematic. What are you on about? What are you on about? God damn. Oh, here it is. Here it is. He could use a proper script and do proper editing like every other YouTuber out there. I'm sorry, you think every YouTuber edits their videos? Oh, wow, you are in for a rude awakening. Again, 409 edits. I don't know why people think that. Like, do you think all my videos are done in one hot take? They are not. At all. At all. Especially not those. Especially not the well-organized ones. It's a very odd idea. Hey, if I could do Arbitrary Awards, 4-hour show in one take like that, I would be a fucking superhuman beast. No way. Not even possible. Yeah, it's a really shitty, fallacious counter-argument. It's like, oh, you don't edit because your video's long. No, I do edit. It's just my video ended up being long after editing. There's a lot of things to say. If I repeat myself 7 or 8 times, I can understand that, but I didn't. At all. In fact, if I repeated myself even once, I'd be quite surprised in that video. Arbitrary was a bit longer than it should be, and I'll admit that. But even then, that was after edits. It just ended up being that long. Ideally, I won't make it that long next year, but it's just what it is. Well, yeah, it's bullshit. Every time you see that, call it out on bullshit. I edit. And I script, and I plan. I don't have a script written down for every single word I say, but I have a clear plan going into each thing. And the point is, when I record something like those top 10s, I'm stopping and cutting and retaking constantly. I'm essentially writing the script as I go. If I make a mistake, I go back and fix it. It's not a hot take. A live stream's a hot take. Oh yeah, it's bullshit. If you just make super long videos, you can get away with it and the ad revenue's better. Okay. So what you mean is, I make long videos because people like them. Right? So you tell me I should stop doing that? That's... A lot of wannabe, like, hey, I'm your business manager and I know how to best do your job, people, when it comes to videos like this. No, you really don't. My average view duration and my viewer retention is one of the highest on YouTube. And the reason I make a lot of money, despite not actually making that many videos these days, because, you know, counts as a bitch, is because I'm able to do that. So, why would I ever change that? For what possible reason would I want to change that? Like, I have all of the stats right here that tell me how long people listen, and how long the average view is, and where people drop off. I mean, I can tell on a second-by-second basis where people drop off. We have all that information. So, really, if people didn't want that, they wouldn't be consuming it. So, it's such a silly argument. Stop doing what works. Why? Why would I do that? Why would I compromise my entire professional career to do what you told me to do? Should I be doing the things that my subs want me to do? And keep watching? It's like the complaints about Arbitrary being too long. Cool, Arbitrary's on 625,000 views in a week. Like, that's more than double what either of the other videos managed in that time frame. Probably within the next week, it's going to pass the views of the entire show for 2014, and that's been out for 2 years now. So, I don't think that there is any evidence whatsoever to suggest that I'm not doing it right. Oh, you don't mind just sitting here talking. That's really all I want to do right now. At this point. I'll be wrapping up momentarily, but it's nice to be able to get this out. It was either that or I was going to make some YouTube video or SoundCloud complaining about it. Trust me, it's better that I vent here. Yeah, I think that's the Facebook thread, isn't it? Yeah, so you know, that's kind of like it. I don't want to go on Reddit and see what they've said there. It's probably terrible. It's probably terrible. Let's answer a couple of questions from the chat. Do the stats show you if a viewer pauses and stops the video and resumes it later? Yep. Yep, they do. So I know when that happens as well. Totally fine. That doesn't hurt in any way, by the way. That's good. There's nothing wrong with it. In fact, really, the longer videos that we make are designed to be consumed that way, so that's totally fine. No problem with that whatsoever. Why are you almost exclusively reacting to haters? Well, what else would I react to? People have said, you did a nice show. Cool. What is there to argue against there? It's like, what should I just say? Thanks? Right? Cool, thanks. Now what? I can't have a discussion about that. You just said that it was fine. There's nothing to discuss that. The only thing to discuss is when people say it's not fine. That's why. Honestly, like, you know, the other thing is I just don't like people lying about me online. Who the fuck would, you know? So someone's got to debunk it, and I'm in the best position to do it. Because I know everything about it, and they don't. So I can debunk that. I'm confident in everything that I do. I don't put it out if I'm not confident in it. How long was Arbitrary before the edits? I don't know. Longer than it was, I'll say that. And bear in mind, I edit as I go. I'll do several passes on a video, but it's edited as it goes. And then I'll complete it. I'll do a full pass, listen to the whole thing again, and then I'll make corrections and cuts, and then I'll do a third pass on it. And once that's done, for something like Arbitrary anyway, the audio goes to Chris, and he creates the video by basically taking, you know, footage from our channel and others, matching it up with what I said. I'll then proof that to make sure that everything is right there. I'll then give a list of changes with time codes to him. He'll then make that edit. I'll then proof it again, and then finally it'll actually come out. So it takes a video like that takes ages. That's why it took a month to make that. If I didn't edit and did shit in one take, it would not have taken a month to make that video. Yeah. So that. Is cheering making any impact at all? Not really. Like, we don't promote it. Like, it's there as an option. I don't promote donations ever on any platform because I'd rather just make the money through subscriptions and ad revenue. It feels better for me. You know, if people want to donate, they can, but we're never going to push it. We're never going to claim we need it because that would be a lie. So, yeah, donation revenue is small potatoes, really. What are the odds of us getting a video about games you look forward to? 0. I don't like that idea. The reason I don't like it is because it contributes to hype culture. Like, if I say that, then all I'm doing is building hype in both myself and others for games that aren't out yet, and that means that I'm encouraging pre-order culture, and I'm encouraging a less critical eye towards those titles, which may very well be huge disappointments. So, no, I won't do that. How the hell do you have enough time to effectively listen to the show multiple times for the edit? It's my job. That's why it took a month. It's my job to do that. Plus, bear in mind, like, you can consume this content anywhere. That's why I always find it so wild. It's like, people that say, who has time to watch a video that long? Shit tons of people. Why? Because they put it on in the background. Like, I'll do it. Here's an example. Like, I'll do one of my passes on a video, like, and to edit, to proof. It's basically proofreading. It's proof listening. While I'm in the bath. Because of course I can. I can do it there. If I want to listen to a long video, if I want to listen to a long podcast, and I want to listen to Bombcast or whatever, in the bath, while I'm working, on in the background, before I go to sleep. There's shit tons of time where you can be passively consuming media. You don't have to actively pay attention to every single thing. You don't have to look at it either, that's the thing. You don't have to look at it. Our videos are like, visually, it's... If people say, like, oh, we just do podcasts, they're kind of right. We do. We totally do. And that's fine. That's actually what it's designed for. Congratulations, you figured out that we make podcasts. What do you expect? My background's radio. Of course we do. Do you ever think you'll make content that's not critiquing impressions in the future? Don't I already do that? Isn't that what the podcast is? So I don't want to focus on that, really. You know, I don't want to, like, turn it into a Let's Play channel, but... I mean, I do make content that's not that. Best novel I've read. I don't read. Honestly, I don't read anymore. I just listen to audiobooks. It's better on my eyes anyway. At the moment, I'm going through the Thrawn trilogy. And that's on Audible. Yeah, okay. I guess that's it for questions. Cool. Thank you very much for watching. I'm gonna go relax a little bit, get something to eat. See if over the next few days before my next treatment I actually have time to make any more videos other than the podcast. That's a question. That is a question. I don't know. I don't necessarily like know what to do next. Not 100% sure at this point. So there's not going to be many games coming out over the next few weeks. The only one that sort of caught my eye, I think, was Urban Empires. That looks kind of pretty cool. Might look at that. I'll look at my Wonder List. There hasn't been many games sent lately because there haven't been many games to send. I could go back and do some stuff that I missed in 2016. I still haven't done a Halcyon 6 video, which is kind of silly. I should do that. I should probably do like another Too Many Sonic Games video where I just sort of round up some of those. That might be a good idea in the next couple of days. Because there's tons of stuff I kind of missed out on, or I played a decent amount of, but I haven't really played enough of it to be comfortable putting an impression down. I could play some more Dead Rising 4, but I know I don't like it. It's just completely missed the point of the original, in my opinion. It's a boring hack and slash open world game. I don't know if I want to put any more time into it. I haven't even started Tyranny either. And I still want to learn Stellaris. I haven't got around to that. And I should try Dishonored 2 again now that it's been patched. Might make it less utter shit. Let me guess. He goes, you played XCOM and that didn't run very well, but you want to play Dishonored 2? Yeah, one of them's a first-person shooter. The other one isn't. Playing first-person shooters that have performance issues, that is a no-go. It's the genre, one of these genres that's most affected by frame rate issues. Not a good idea. Start and play Beholder, I need to get around to that. There's tons of shit I need to get around to. Which probably won't get done. This is why we can't nice things. Nah, that's usually done. Like, I can't justify making videos on old games when I can't even cover all my new stuff. Can't justify it. Not in the slightest. Why don't I like platformers? I just don't. Not everyone likes every genre. I just don't enjoy it. It's just how it is. Just how it is. Okay, right. I'm wrapping it up. Thank you very much for watching, folks. We'll see you next time.